Welcome again to yet another class where we will exchange and learn about Kathak and how it started, how it went from temples to courts and came to the proscenium stage. So much so that today you are all sitting in this room and learning about Kathak. In Kathak history, the word Nautch often comes up. Nautch for nachna, Nach to dance. It's a very simple translation. Nautch was a corruption of Nach, meaning literally to dance, by the British, who had problems pronouncing basic Indian words. Thus, Varanasi became Banaras, Trichinapalli became Trichy, Vadodara became Baroda, Mumbai became Bombay, Mysuru became Mysore. Many such examples abound in India. The decline of the Mughal Empire and the rise of European power saw the gradual decadence of Kathak. Most of the petty princes and warlords had little appreciation for the fine arts. So Kathak degenerated into voluptuous and sensuous styles. Although there was an attempt to retain the basic graces of Kathak, the tendency was increasingly towards lasciviousness and performers becoming notorious as women of easy virtue. It was this debased form of Kathak that Europeans adventurers first saw and hence called Nautch. This infamy touched even the temple dancers and certainly did much to disgrace girls from respectable families adopting professional dance as a career. The dancing women in colonial literature are certainly never called Kathaks, nor is their dance ever referred to by that name. Yet, one of Kathak dance's most contentious issues has long been the question of its connection to the so-called Nautch. Its application by the Europeans to all types of Indian dance performed by professional women resulted in a stigma that still clings to North Indian dance forms. Nautch girls and Nautch dance they performed were associated with prostitution and loose behavior, although one searches in vain for such descriptions in the letters and diaries. The observers occasionally seemed to relieved and even disappointed that what they saw could not be called immoral. Since some dancers had fallen on bad days due to lack of patronage in temples and by local zamindars, they took to world's oldest profession, that is prostitution. Thus, for British and their followers amongst Indian ruling classes, which generally emulated their masters, the word dance was replaced with nautch. Dancing girls were called nautch dancers. There are many paintings depicting these scenes in popular culture of the time as seen through what is called company school, so called and named after British Raj or rule that originated in the East India Company rule. Nautch dance was a term prevalent in North and South India. While South had Devdasis and Rajdasis, North had kothas or brothels where the Nawab, British gent or officer, fashioned after Nawab, the local ruler's title, went for downtime or company and was often entertained through dance and music and other activities that followed. Nautch girls, a prominent part of Indian life and culture during the second half of the 19th and first half of the 20th centuries, danced for a variety of people that included women and children in addition to men of virtually all social classes in their homes, in public places, on stage and in various other settings. They performed in Mughal courts, the palaces of Nawabs, the mahals, castles of Rajas, the bungalows of officers of the British Raj, the homes of nobles, the havelis, mansions of zamindars, landowners and many other places. They were invited to perform at parties, weddings, christenings, religious ceremonies and many other social occasions. Nautch girls did not need an invitation to perform at religious festivals. They would show up to perform at the homes of their wealthier patrons who were obliged to pay them. While traveling, they would often hold impromptu dance performances on roads, streets, and thoroughfares to entertain the masses, make some money, and secure free room and board. Nautch girls served the entire spectrum of people in India across all regions, social classes, castes, and religions. Nautch girls performed as a part of a small troops known as a Nautch party. 10 to 12 people or small with just two people. The party always had one or two dancers and usually a singer too. Their husbands usually worked as musicians in the troupe. The Nautch party musicians played four instruments: sarangi, tabla, manjira, and dholak historically. A fifth instrument, the harmonium, was introduced to Nautch primarily in Kashmir and Punjab at the start of the 20th century. Well-known and famous Nautch girls, however, continued to use the sarangi. An experienced maidservant, the mama, was always a part of Nautch party to take care of female performers, arranging meals and safekeeping of the jewelry worn by the Nautch girls. An unarmed guard, the muhafiz, was an important member of the Nautch party given the turbulent times and political upheavals of 19th and 20th century India. His job was to protect all members and possessions of the Nautch party. Nautch parties that performed during the night also had one or two machalis or lamp bearers in the troupe. The dances performed by Nautch girls were simple. They did not follow any one classical style, but borrowed liberally from three dance traditions: Kathak, Dasiyattam, and folk. The Kathak of early 19th century was simple and aesthetically pleasing. The repertoire of toras and tukras was limited and primarily focus was on storytelling. Kathak had not yet been transformed into this elaborate school of dance by Bindadin Maharaj and Kalka Prasad ji. Dasiyattam, early form of Bharatanatyam, was more complex but lent itself easily to use in popular dance of Nautch girls. Folk dances added a charming and local flavor to the Nautch. It was up to the Nautch girls to masterfully incorporate elements of all three styles of dance into their performances. The Mor Ka Naach, dance of the peacock, Patang Naach, peacock or kite dance, and the Kahar Ka Naach or water bearers were considered essential items in every Nautch girl's repertoire. The songs of Nautch girls had as their themes either the amorous escapades in the lives of gods or conventional romantic tales, usually about the lover's yearning for the beloved. Until the end of the 19th century, songs in Persian were as popular as those in Hindi. These are even references comparing the singing style and rendering of this ghazal by different reputed Nautch girls of the day. Nautch dancers or Nautch girls were photographed extensively in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Cameras were getting popular and beautiful Nautch girls were an ideal subject for photographers wishing to document Indian culture. The third factor was a Nautch girl's need to have good photographs that she could send to prospective clients or patrons. So you see how the dance form manifested itself. Nautch girl held the White Sahib spellbound for nearly 2 centuries. Professional Nautch girls and their performances have been described in numerous journals, travelogues, memoirs, and diaries left by European visitors, missionaries, and civil and military officials. The post-Plassey British nabobs who had made quick fortunes emulated the ostentatious lifestyle of native princes and even maintained their own troops of Nautch girls and musicians for the entertainment of their guests. A dinner in the community was usually followed by a Nautch performance. So were other festive occasions, such as the celebration of a king emperor's birthday and visits of dignitaries to civil and military stations. Nautch girls would also accompany the British Army whenever it was on the move, entertaining the soldiers on the way. The quality of the Nautch and the class of Nautch girls varied from place to place, as did the reactions of the British spectators. In the early 19th century account, Captain Mundy describes a splendid Nautch party held in honor of the Commander-in-Chief by the company's political agent, Captain Wade, in Ludhiana, where 46 Nautch girls entertained the guests, only to be surpassed by the British resident at Delhi, who honored the Commander-in-Chief with a performance by 100 Nautch girls. The Nautch became a common form of entertainment in the mansions of the English merchants turned rulers in Bengal and other parts of India. The Nautch girls were extensively patronized by the feudal rulers, many of whom retained whole sets of them in their service or as inmates of the sizable harems. It is this picture of Indian dance and dancers that the European and other travelers who visited India during the period carried with them when they returned to their countries. Practically, all that they could see by way of dance was the debased Kathak. So it is not surprising that they identified the art of Indian dance in its entirety with the Nautch and branded it as a pursuit fit only for the vulgar and depraved, an impression that persisted till the present revival of the art. The purity of the Kathak dance was preserved by the men dancers, and the Kathak we see today is largely what has come to us through them. The popularity of the Nautch was at its peak in the 1860s. A natural consequence of the popularity was the emergence of detractors of the art form. Waves of Christian missionaries started arriving in India after the opening of the Suez Canal in 1869, and they frequently opposed the performance of Nautch, among many other things, by terming it anti-Christian, immoral and repugnant. Officers of the British Raj, who had heretofore been patrons of Nautch girls, were asked to not attend Nautch performances. As the 19th century wore on, the new group of English-educated Indians were swayed by the writings of some foreign observers who made no distinction between an accomplished professional Nautch girl or a Devdasi and a common prostitute, dubbing both as fallen women. In their drive against Nautch, the missionaries were also joined by a powerful group of educated Indian social reformers who, influenced by Western ideas and Victorian moral values, had lost pride in their own cultural heritage. In 1925, when Americans Ted Shawn and Ruth St. Denis came to India, they wanted to see some Nautch dancers. But Ted Shawn later wrote to scholar Mohan Khokar, during British rule of India, dancing was frowned upon due to mistaken norms of prudery, and all the Indians we met were embarrassed when we mentioned the word Nautch to them. The Shawns were fortunate to meet star performers of the day, Bachwa Jan and Mallika Jan, both professing knowledge of Kathak, but of the Kotha, brothel variety, and Ruth was inspired through this to choreograph her special piece called Nautch Dance. Though it acquired pejorative associations in the early 20th century, the tradition of Nautch survived the onslaught of the moral brigade and went on to thrive in the Indian subcontinent. Many famous courtesans and gained notoriety too and were seen as parallel power centers. Hers, in such social meetings, places, the Indian and Western masters merged and did deals in politics and power equations in such spaces. Some Nautch dancers also became legends. All these dancers had one or more guru who actually taught them the art of Kathak. While some remained faceless and nameless because of the association with brothels, others emerged from that and struck out professionally on their own. Many such gurus from Ambala to Delhi, from Jaipur to Lucknow were also in royal or feudal patronage. Although Nautch became established social norm, the gurus who survived this period later went on to teach many popular names in dance. If one sees genealogy of gurus, many such teachers came to cities and taught girls from respectable families in Calcutta, the first capital of British India, then called Delhi. Soon proper and professional dance teaching schools and institutions came up, and the art of Nautch was slowly left as memory in films, Anarkali, Pakiza, and such like films. And what was a whole subculture became a lost culture. Mehfils and baithaks of tabla and sarangi were lost. Today, when we think of Kathak, we think of gharanas or schools named after either cities from where the art flourished or where they got patronage, or we think of the great gurus of different forms like Lucknow, Jaipur, Banaras, and Kathak Gharana-s. The Lucknow Gharana flowered in the name and time of Wajid Ali Shah, himself a great artist and art lover. The great masters Kalka Prasad and Binda Din Maharaj, who codified the dance style, trace their ancestry to one Ishwari Prasad, in whose line Prakashji and Durga Prasad rose as great dancers. For 6 generations, this family had 3 sons or brothers. At the outset, there was Adagu, Khadagu and Tularam. Then came Prakash, Dayal and Hiralal. Then Durga Prasad, Thakur Prasad and Man Singh. Then Binda Din, Kalka Prasad and Bhairav Prasad. Then Achan Maharaj, Lachu Maharaj, Shambhu Maharaj. Shambhu's 3 sons, Shiv, Ram Mohan and Krishan Mohan. Durga Prasad's sons were Binda Din Maharajas, who had no issue, and Kalka Prasad, who had 3 sons, Achan Maharaj, Shambhu Maharaj and Lachu Maharaj, who were excellent dancers as well as gurus of the Lucknow Gharana, leaving behind a galaxy of finely trained Kathak dancers. Achan Maharaj trained his younger brothers. His first student when he started working in Delhi were Uma and Nirmala Joshi, Malashri Sen, Reba Vidyarthi and Kapila Vatsyan. Mohan Rao Kalyanpurkar, Damayanti Joshi, Vikram Singh from Ceylon also trained under him. Lachu Maharaj opened a school in Bombay and trained his daughter Kausalya, Rohini Bhatte and Sitara Devi. During his teaching stint at Kathak Kendra at Lucknow, he trained young dancers Kumkumdhar, Malvika Sarkar and Kapila Sharma. Shambhu Maharaj devised the courtly style of sitting and performing, which made it less hurried, more elegant for Bhav Batana, but depiction. He taught at Delhi's Bharati Kala Kendra. His disciples were Maya Rao and her sister Chitra Venugopal, Bela Arnab, Bharati Gupta, Reena Singha and Kumudni Lakhya. Uma Sharma, Damayanti Joshi, Rani Karna, Vaswati Mishra, Kapila Raj, Veroni Kazan and many others are popular torchbearers of the Lucknow Gharana. Shambhu Maharaj and Birju Maharaj taught for many years at Bharati Kala Kendra, later became Kathak Kendra in Delhi. Kumudni Lakhya, along with Birju Maharaj, introduced group choreographies in Kathak, which was traditionally a solo dance form. Her interpretation of Kathak, combining purely classical movements with contemporary aesthetics, is much appreciated. Aditi Mangaldas, Prashant Shah, Maulik and Ishra Shah are some of her prime disciples. Maya Rao's Natya Institute in Bangalore has produced classy dancers like daughter Madhu Natraj, Nirupma and Rajendran, Tushar Bhatt, etc. Achan Maharaj's son, Birju Maharaj, has shaped the present-day Kathak into an exquisite form. His sons Deepak Maharaj, Jaikrishna Maharaj, grandson Tribhuvan Maharaj, main disciple Saswati Sen and hundreds of other disciples carry on his legacy. Pratap Pawar, who continues his guru's work in the UK, has groomed Akram Khan. Arjun Mishra in Lucknow has groomed his daughters and son Anuj Mishra into today's promising talents. The Jaipur Gharana dancers and gurus Jailal, Sundar Prasad and Narayan Prasad, Kundanlal Gangani and Sundarlal Gangani and Durga Lal, for his speed and easy style of performance, were instrumental in developing the Gharana. Gohar Jan, Kamar Jan, Dhanni Bai and Maina were some famous dancers during the reign of Savai Madho Singh II, 1861 to 1922. Jailal's disciples were the Puvaiya sisters. Some outstanding exponents and gurus of this style include Hari Prasad and Hanuman Prasad, sons of Dulaji. Hanuman Prasadji's 3 sons, Mohanlal, Chiranji Lal and Narayan Prasad. Brothers Durga Prasad, Chunni Lal and Shyam Lal, Govardhan of Bihari Lal. Chunni Lal's son, Jai Lal and Sundar Prasad became household names. Others are Ram Gopal and Jai Kumari, son and daughter of Jai Lal. Devi Lal and son, Gauri Shankar, Sohan Lal, Hira Lal and son Ganesh. Sunaina and Hazari Lal, Roshan Kumari, Alka Nupur, Rohini Bhatte enriched Kathak's rhythmic repertoire by creating a large corpus of dance compositions. Among present-day stars are Rajendra Gangani, son of Kundanlal Gangani, Gitanjali Lal, wife of dancer Devi Lal, her son Abhimanyu Lal and his wife Vidha Lal. The Banaras Gharana originated in Rajasthan but flourished in Banaras. It was developed by scholar dancer Janki Prasad, whose chief disciple was the elder brother Chunni Lal. Chunni Lal's son Sablaji's son Dudaji, and his two sons Hukmaji and Motilal all trained under Janki Prasad. Hukmaji's son Ganeshi Lal and Dularam trained under their uncle Motilal. Dularam trained his sons Bihari Lal, Puran Lal and Hira Lal, who gave several performances in North India and also taught many dancers in Bihar. Among Bihari Lal's gifted disciples were Keshav Rao of Bombay, Hira Lal of Jaipur Gharana, Sukhdev of Jaipur, Mohan Lal Banaraswale and Menka Bai Belgaonkar, Bihari Lal's son, Kishan Lal, Sohan Lal and Mohan Lal carried on their father's legacy. Kishan Lal taught when his father was Bombay. Mohan Lal and Sohan Lal taught Kathak in Dehradun. Hira Lal, court dancer at Bikaner in Indore, was famous for his collection of Thumri. Puran Lal's son Ram Lal and Madan Lal settled in Patiala. Madan Lal had his uncle Hira Lal's Thumris. Ganeshi Lal had three sons, Hanuman Prasad, Shiv Lal and Gopal. Famous for his Abhinaya, Hanuman Prasad was court dancer in Jammu, Patiala and Nepal before going to Delhi to teach. His disciples include Nirmala Joshi and her sister Uma. Hanuman Prasad's daughter had three sons, Naval Kishore, Bansidhar and Omkar Prasad, settled in Delhi. Shivlal was a poet, but of his three sons, Sukhdev and Durga Prasad went to Rajasthan and Kundan Lal Gangani taught Kathak at Hanumangarh. Gopal was court dancer at Khairagarh, Kapurthala and Kashmir. He made Kathak popular throughout Punjab before the partition. His famous disciples include Hirabai of Patiala Darbar, Nawab Putli Bai and film star Ashik Hussain Khan. A large number of disciples learnt Kathak from Ashik Hussain, his brother Sadiq Khan, son Akbar, Tara Chaudhary, Kumudni Lakhia, Gopal's son Krishan Kumar had a Kathak school in Bareilly and later moved to Delhi. Hazarilal, Shehzadi and Hazuri. Hazarilal taught in Bombay, married his disciple Sunaina, and together they started a school, Natwari, to propagate the Janki Prasad school of Kathak. Sudarshan Dheer, Ranjitkar and Daya Shankar are Hazarilal's disciples. Dancer, Sanskrit scholar and Guru Pandit Sukhdev Maharaj sired three daughters, Tara, Sitara and Alaknanda, a popular trio, before individual fates took them to places as far as Benares, Bombay and Bengal. Sitara Devi also learned from Achar Maharaj. Although Sitara was born in Bengal, she lived most of her adult life in Bombay, with brief stay in Banaras. Her sister Tara was the mother of Gopi Krishna, another famous film dance personage. The Raigad Gharana was established by King Chakradhar Singh in the princely state of Raigad, Chhattisgarh, in early 20th century. During reign of Raja Bhupdev Singh, Chunni Lal, Shiv Narayan and Jhande Khan taught Kathak at the Darbar. Anuj Ram and Kartik Ram were prominent dancers during the reign of Natwar Singh, brother of Chakradhar Singh, son of Bhupdev Singh, who invited many Kathak maestros and percussionists to his court, including Kalka Prasad and his sons of Lucknow Gharana, Pandit Jailal from Jaipur Gharana, Sukhdev Prasad, etc. The confluence of different styles and artists led to the development of new Kathak and tabla compositions drawn from these influences. Some of the renowned dancers of this Gharana are Kartik Ram and his son Ramlal, Firtu Ram Maharaj, Kalyan Mahant, Barman Lal, Yasmin Singh, V. Anuradha Singh, Alpana Vajpayee, Sucheta Harmalkar, Monika Pandey, Bohre, Mohini Mohoge, Bhagwan Das Manik, Bhupendra Bharat, Vasanti Vaishnav, Annapurna Sharma, Jyoti Bakshi, Chetna Joshi, Dr. Vijay Sharma, Rashmi Vajpayee, etc.